Hey everybody, welcome back to the Idle Champions stream. And I just realized I still have Twitch sound on, so I'm hearing myself with a 6-second delay, so let's turn that off. So we're back. It's Thursday, July 19th. Thank you so much for being with us today. We're excited to show you the new Barovian content that just launched yesterday, and hopefully we'll get a little tease on Diath, who we announced over the weekend as our newest champion coming to Idle Champions. He'll be in our event starting next week. So again, I'm here. My name is Chris Dupuy. I'm the Live Services Manager, and Dylan will be back in all of his eloquent glory starting next week. But for this week, you have me. We're coming to you live from beautiful Victoria, British Columbia. And I'd like to thank the D&D team for being awesome partners and giving us time on this stream. Our stream today is a little bit abbreviated because the D&D team is actually down at San Diego Comic-Con, and they're going to be taking over at 2 o'clock with Nathan Stewart, the Senior Director, I believe, of D&D. He'll be talking with Satine Phoenix and Joe Manganiello about his new Death Saves clothing line. And so we'll be sending that to them at 2 o'clock. But for now, we're here and we're going to play some Idle Champions. We've got an abbreviated stream, so we're going to have only 2 giveaways this week. As usual, we'll be doing several giveaways. We'll do 2 of them today, with the first one in about 10-15 minutes or so. A raffle will be opened by Erica in the Codename Entertainment account. Once the raffle's opened, all you have to do is type in !raffle to enter, and your name will be included in the draw. Once the draw ends, the winner is announced. Erica will reach out to the winner with the details on how to receive their prize. In order to participate in each draw, you need to sign up again. And I believe one of the things we're giving away today is the new Jarlaxle DLC pack, which we just opened up last week. Let's go ahead and get in game. Oh wait, I got something cool to show you first. Where is it? Alright, so for those that watched the Waffle Inc. game this weekend, you saw the announcement from Pro Jared that Diath from Dice Camera Action is going to be our next champion coming to the game. So this is his screenshot, and I also have a special sneak peek of the Waffle crew in action on our test server. Ignore the DPS right now. He's still getting tested. But there they are. Evelyn, Strix, Diath, ready to go out and, I guess, find Paulton? But that'll be coming next week. And for now, we get to go to Barovia. Alright, so first I'm going to finish this adventure. I was grinding some Kellum Vor Favor, which, pro tip, might be important soon. Go ahead and set this all up. I should have thought to finish this first, sorry. Oh, we've got our weekly stream code again, which is on stream, so I don't have to announce it. Let's see. So we're going to go back to Grand Tour. Barovia is actually going to be, or Ravenloft is going to be a subset of our Grand Tour adventure. Much like the hooks to get into the Curse of Strahd adventure, we just kind of stumble into Barovia. So we head over to Longsaddle, and we're going to get lost in the mists. We've heard from a couple of fans saying that Barovia should have been its own campaign by itself. I totally hear you. It's just we've got a specific content release schedule, and I thought that making Barovia its own campaign would mean that we wouldn't be able to update everything as quickly as possible. So we want to use Grand Tour as our way to get some more champions up, as our way to dip into the campaigns that have come before we went live, because we want to do content from Storm King's Thunder and Rise of Tiamat and Curse of Strahd, of course. I mean, who doesn't want to go to Barovia? But while we're servicing the current content, while we're continuing to do Tomb of Annihilation content, there's just not enough windows in the schedule. We'd get a Barovia update this month, and we wouldn't get another one until 2019. So we're going to offshoot off of Grand Tour and touch on previous adventure campaigns like Curse of Strahd, and so that's what we're doing here. Let me get this all set up. Oh, got through too quick. Oh, what am I doing? Let me get Deacon in there. Deacon. My formation is probably not going to be as perfected as Dylan's. You'll have to excuse me. All right, so let's see what we got. Oops, that messes up the sound. So as I said, Dylan will be back next week, not messing up nearly as much as I am. So we just released the new Ravenloft content, and it starts with the Mists of Ravenloft, where we are adventuring to return an owlbear that has been lost by the Harples. And for those that know the lore, the Harples are a reclusive group of wizards that live in Longsaddle, and they're kind of quirky, and they have actually an offshoot group of the family that is werewolves, the Bitterdews, that are hiding in the woods around the town. So I like to play with the Harples a lot. They're kind of a fun, quirky group that I keep going back to, which is actually why we sneak all the way back up the Sword Coast to get to Barovia, because I put it at the Longsaddle without thinking. But we'll loop back down. We'll get there. We got to get down to south of Waterdeep. Got to go to Baldur's Gate and down to the desert. We got to do all sorts of stuff eventually. But for now, we're up in Longsaddle. We're up in Longsaddle, and we're looking for an owlbear. Let's see. And we're actually starting to incorporate some of the some of the event champions in the cinematics now. So I think that'll be pretty exciting. We won't constantly hear from Celeste and Brunor and Jarlaxle and Naeli all the time. We can throw in some flavor from some of the other champions, which I think is going to be pretty exciting. Because, you know, who doesn't want a little bit more Minsk and Boo banter? I know I can't get enough of that. Go. All right. So, what do we got for questions today? Let's get that started. Because remember, we've only got an hour today. So, let's see. With the upcoming UI changes, will there be a mobile version of the game in the future? That's a really good question. Right now, the game is only available on tablet for mobile. And that is mostly because of the fact that the UI just would need a major overhaul in order to fit on phones. There's a lot of information on the screen. There's a lot of information that you need to understand as you're playing. We ran some testing, and it just didn't look good on phones. And what we don't want to do is we don't want to give players a subpar experience. So right now there are no plans to announce for phones. But we are continuing to look at options with UI and play around with things in the building. So never say never, but at the moment I have nothing to announce. Let's see. Can you put Stonebridge on the list for inclusion in the Sword Coast? Put Stonebridge in. You gotta. You kind of caught me there. Arcus69, Stonebridge. I don't know that reference. In the list for inclusions in the Sword Coast. Yeah, clarify the reference, and I'll look into it. We've got a new-looking mist filter, thanks to Mark, so it's not washing everyone out as much as we walk into the mists around the forests of Longsaddle. And let's see. Will the Mad Hermit from Keep on the Borderlands, 1979, be a playable champion? He actually had art. That's a good question, Baron. We don't have any current plans for the Mad Hermit from the 1979 module Keep on the Borderlands, but we do always like to look at lore-based characters based on the books, based on the modules, based on player feedback, and yeah, we'll keep asking, we'll keep looking into them. Let's see. Will it be possible to include a check to see if the player has the champion before they start chatting? I'm thinking of if/then statements that could swap out a different person to chat. Yes, I'm sure that's possible. The only challenge is that we start getting into potential nested dialogue issues. And with the opening of the time gate, I don't see it personally as a bad experience if the player doesn't have that character yet, because hopefully the dialogue is starting to introduce you to that character or get you excited about that character. So the next time a time gate opens up, if you've just joined and you're playing through this campaign, which you probably wouldn't be doing if you just joined, but you see Zorbu pop up and you don't know who Zorbu is, now you know a little bit more about him. He's a ranger, he's tracking things. And so when he pops up, you're not you're not completely at a loss. Or if you didn't have any prior deacon knowledge and we put a deacon line in there, it gives us the ability to change up some of the voices and add some variety to the conversation. We could definitely put the if-then statements in there, and I say definitely, not being a coder and not having Justin shake his fist at me out the window. But I think for now we'll listen to feedback and leave the dialogue static for now. Will there be Helm's Blessings on the same level as Torm, Kel, or take even more to buy? That's a good question. We actually have to do a pass on Blessings very soon, so I don't know what those levels are going to be, but they will be coming, and they won't be coming before, the Helm Blessings won't be coming before the next Dragon Heist campaign update. So keep playing, keep grinding, but no Blessings for the next couple of weeks until the next Dragon Heist update comes in. Let's see. Why are you such a fan of Jarlaxle's snarkiness? I'm probably alone in this, but I personally think he's getting a bit stale. That's a good bit of feedback, Toastmaster, or Toastmaster. Again, that's part of the reason to add variety to the conversation. So it's not always Celeste being the narrator, Brunor being the kind of oafish one that people are making fun of, and then Jarlaxle being the snarky one. So by trying to throw some variety in, we're trying to give more characters voice, introduce more characters to the players, and make sure things aren't getting stale. So you might hear a little bit less of Jarlaxle, but I'm sure he'll pop up a couple of times in the Dragon Heist adventure and wonder why he isn't masterminding any of these evil plans. Let's see. Can we assume... I'm going to actually read these questions first before I stumble into a Stonebridge thing. Can we assume that the mobile game and the PC game will always have the same champions? Like, will all platforms get Nordum the Modron from Planescape Torment? Nice play, yes. No, the mobile game and the PC game will always have the same champions, yes. So... on the tablet version, with the time gate, you can get access to any champion, even if they haven't been released in an event that was on tablet. All the champions are open. So yes, the plan is that while we can't link accounts, we want everything to come out as close to concurrent as possible. So the events should come out at the same time on all platforms. The champions should be all available. We're trying to make sure it's as seamless of an experience as possible. Timegate questions. Are Timegate pieces supposed to be random? Some people had 4 3 days ago, and I still only have 3 today. Also, are the pieces you get for not completing the open weekend going to be given out if you don't start the event? If not, it's double penalizing people who are unable to get in the game on the weekend. So the Timegate pieces are random. You have a certain percentage to get a Timegate piece in a boss loot bag after you've hit the timer, and then it's all up to randomness. Like I've got 4 pieces right now. I just got my 4th a little while ago. Hey, there's Minsk and Boo. We are walking away from evil, which we cannot do. Alright, so they are in Barovia. They're trying to go through the mist, and they're getting turned back, and I gotta throw more people in my formation. So yes, the Timegate pieces come out randomly. It's not a set day that everyone's supposed to get them. And once you hit that timer that opens it up and leaves it as available to be pulled, it's just going to be a random draw of how long it takes you to get that piece, and the timer resets. Let's see. And the pieces you get for not completing the open weekend going to be given out if you don't start the event. I believe we had a conversation, and I will have someone verify with that. I believe we had the conversation that you have to start the event in order to get the pieces. Can you confirm? Okay. I will have Erica check with Justin, but I believe when the time gate's open, you have to actually open the time gate and choose a champion in order for those 2 slots to become open and thus fillable with a time gate piece for not completing the event. And Erica is typing, so I'm sure we'll get a response in a second. Where are we? And when I minimize that, it goes away. Alright. I'm really excited to go to Barovia. Barovia is one of my favorite settings, and we've got some Strahd coins here with a little picture of Strahd's face on it. Let's see. Okay, Erica's open for me. Are there... Sorry, hang on a second. I gotta stop putting the screen in the background. Let's see. Are there plans to set Deacon as default starting champion if you finish the previous map with him, same as happens with other alts? I would like to. It's just we have to tweak that. I think that we should. It was one of the last minute things that we noticed right before Deacon went out, and we just haven't gotten around to that yet. Okay. How old are you, and when did you start to lose your hair? I think mine started to recede, and I'm only 32. You know, you kind of have that like fear. You're like, wow, that widow's peak's getting kind of high, but maybe it's not that bad. But apparently it is that bad. So the answer of when did I start to lose my hair? Apparently a while ago, and it's just continuing to grow. So yeah, now I'm just gonna eventually be that guy with the comb over and stuff. It's gonna be awesome. Once there are more event champs, do you plan for 4 or 5 gate openings, gates per opening? Right now, our plan is just the 3. We have everything tiered into different buckets, and 3's the plan. If we went to 4 or 5, we'd have to do some UI changes, so that's some art time. Why don't I have familiars out? So right now the plan is to do only 3, but time gates are only 3 weeks old. And the next time gate opens in 22 hours, everyone. So yeah, if you have feedback about time gates, let us know. Keep talking to us about it. This is a new system, and as with everything, we're always trying to, hey, the Hero of the Veil came back. As with everything, we're always up to iterate on it. Let's see. Will you ever delay content so that it comes out on Apple at the same time? We want it to come out on every platform at the same time. We want all of our messaging to say, wherever you're playing, go play it. Yes, the content hasn't come out, the Barovia content hasn't come out on Apple yet because we're having a challenge with the build. And because of our content schedule, we have to submit a build to Apple. We have to wait a day or 2 for the build to come back. And this week we had some challenges with the build, and we're working with Apple to resolve them. But right now the Barovia content is not available on Apple. It is our goal, and it is part of my responsibility as the live services manager to make sure that everything comes out on time. So we're working really hard to fix the problems that Apple saw in the build and get that content out as soon as possible. But it is our goal to launch the event next week, if at all possible, on all platforms. Let's see. Considering that you're making a foray into Ravenloft from Forgotten Realms, is Jandar Sunstar going to be the hero? We haven't flagged who's going to be the evergreen hero for this area. Well, I have an idea, but I don't want to talk about it just yet. We've got so many heroes in the queue before we even look at who the hero is that we collect while in Ravenloft. So I'm just going to put a TBD on that one. Will the Ravenloft content be from Curse of Strahd Adventure, or will it include other Ravenloft characters like Azalin or Lord Soth? Right now the plan is to stick pretty closely to Curse of Strahd. That's the most recent content. It's all 5e. So just from a wizard standpoint, come here. There we go. From wizard standpoint, that's where we're focusing. To say that we won't have throwbacks to 2nd edition Ravenloft stuff. We might. But right now, the storyline is hewing pretty close to Curse of Strahd. As you can tell, if you play the first one, you meet Madame Eva, which we might get to during the stream. and she will read your fortunes. And we were actually able to use the system that Perkins and the rest of the D&D team put together to kind of randomly come up with the locations. So for those of you that haven't played the Curse of Strahd adventure, the Vistani can read your fortunes, and there's Taroka cards, and they have a little Taroka card deck that you can get, and you can actually set up the adventure as a DM to randomly decide the locations the PCs need to get to. So it's got instructions and organization on how to deal the deck out and how to put it out, so that way the players and the fates can decide where they have to go. Now, we have to write adventures, we need to look at art resources, so I didn't do it randomly, but I was able to incorporate that fate reading into the adventure, which was pretty cool. Why aren't your familiars out, and can you reveal anything about upcoming mechanics? Well, I fixed the familiars. The familiars weren't out because I'm trying to do too many things at once. Can I reveal anything about upcoming mechanics? I can reveal that my coffee's cold. All I can reveal is that we're working really hard. We've got the anniversary celebration coming up. We've got the tanking and healing update. We've got the rebalancing update. We've got 3 new champions in the next month or so. It's going to be a busy time for Idle Champions. So keep playing, keep grinding. Pay attention to that Kellenvor favor, pro tip. And we're going to have some fun updates for you soon. Kenjia1902222001. If Ravenloft is the new setting, are we going to have Taroka readings? Yes, we will get to the Taroka readings, I believe, on area 45 or 49. I don't remember. What is the time between gate pieces? I don't remember the specific time. I think it's somewhere between 3 to 5 days for the timer. Ooh, and I think I have an answer on that previous time gate question. Nope, no answer. Justin must be busy. He's coding away at stuff. Let's see. Rear clicking familiar slot in the field, made a post about Reddit on it. Yes, actually, Erica, our wonderful community manager, did pass along that post during the stand-up this morning. So we are aware, and familiars and revamping what how the familiars work is definitely something that we're looking at soon. TBD, TM. Who will DF swap with? Oh, that's a. I don't know. Can I reveal that? Let me think about that one. Let me actually think about that one so I can remember which one it is. Which one is it? I don't remember. That's the honest answer. I don't remember. Like I said, we've got 3 champions we're currently working with, and I know Dieth was the one we designed the longest ago, so I don't remember what location he swapped with. Let's see. Where is the Ravenloft quests? I cannot find them. So, in order to find the Ravenloft quests, you have to have completed supply runs. So we've got Tomb of Annihilation, and we've got Grand Tour, and the Grand Tour goes all the way down to here, down in Waterdeep, and you have to complete supply run in Waterdeep in order for this path up to Long Saddle to work. So for your question, SBR290, the Ravenloft quests start in Long Saddle with the Mists of Ravenloft, and that's what we're playing now. And once we unlock that, that'll open up the Barovia map, which will show up on the screen just like Chult. Now you are on week 2 of Dylan's vacation. Do you realize how good he is at his job? I miss Dylan desperately. I realize both how good Dylan is at his job and also how bad I am at his job. So I cannot wait for Dylan to come back, but I'm very excited that he took as much time as he needed to get everything set for his wedding and have a relaxing, exciting wedding. So we're all super excited about it here, and we're super excited to get him back and hear all the awesome stories about his wedding vacation. Yeah. When will we be getting Evergreen Champion for Tomb? I would say soon, TBD. So there is an Evergreen Champion coming for Tomb. Grind your Kellenvor favor. make sure you're ready. For those that have been working to get Drizzed, the Evergreen Champion's gonna be one of those top tier variants. So keep grinding, keep getting favor. Think about where to put your favor after the next event. Maybe Kellamvor. There is an Evergreen Champion coming. Are the Taroka readings the same for all players? Unfortunately, yes. I would have loved to do variable readings for variable players, or for different players, but because each card reading directs you to a place for a thing. So you get like the Tome of Strahd, and you get the Sun Sword, and you get all the things. Hashtag spoiler alert for the 3-year-old module. The Taroka reading sends you to different locations in Barovia to find the things that you need to try and face Strahd. And if everyone's was different, that means that everyone's adventure that would go get that thing would have to be at a different location, which is really challenging without a huge wealth of Barovian art assets. So I would have loved to do that, but given the resources that we have, everyone gets the same Taroka reading. But hopefully, it's a compelling adventure. I'm super excited about it. Let's see. Is there a chance familiars getting saved as part of formations? We haven't specifically spoken about that, but there's a chance. Hopefully, when there's enough locations for all the familiars to go all over the place, there isn't a go-to place for every familiar at on every run. So we'll look into it as we look to revamp or expand the use of the familiars. We'll look into whether formation saving works for that. I'm sorry, I'm gonna butcher your name, Kaon D. I think Chris is doing a great job. Thanks, buddy. I've got 3 E12 Kel favor. Is that enough? Yeah, I think so, seeing as you're blowing me out of the water. I still need to grind up and finish Tomb of the Nine Gods, so I think you're doing okay with 3 E12. You should be hopefully okay. Let's see. Just tuned in. Is Mists of Ravenloft... Will the Mists of Ravenloft stick around going forward? Yes. So it's part of the Grand Tour adventure. So it's evergreen. So for the length of the game, the Mists of Ravenloft will be here, and whatever we do in Barovia, once that Barovia map opens up, will be a part of the campaign. There's even a chance we go back through the Mists later, because we have the map set up. So for however long we're in Barovia, it will be a part of the campaign and beyond. Let's see. Will there be new champions to unlock during the new Grand Tour quest cycle? By the way, you're doing very well. Thank you, Magenta Shirt. Will there be a new champion to unlock during the new Grand Tour quest cycle? Not immediately, no. So there is one new... So there's one new Evergreen champion coming out shortly, and that's going to be on the Tomb adventure. But there's no new Evergreen champion for Grand Tour at the moment. There are planned, but none in the near future, next month. I really like the new mechanic of zombies turning into crawling claws. Yeah, that came straight from the design from Chris Perkins on Strahd zombies. So on Strahd zombies, when you lop off a part of them, they're still alive, and they share the same hit point pool. So you gotta kill it all, and so it kind of spoke to the macabre horror feel of Ravenloft, and this kind of unending dread and doom pushing from around you. You know, you see a normal zombie, you know how to kill it. You see this zombie, you lop off the head, and the headless body keeps coming at you, and that's always a fun thing to throw at the champions, your players at the table the first time. What is the last adventure in Barovia this release? Haunted Fortunes. Haunted Fortunes is the variant. This update includes 2 adventures. I need more coffee. This update includes 2 adventures. It is Mists of Ravenloft and Family Entanglement. Mists of Ravenloft has a variant called the Hunt for Owlie, the name that the 2 Harpal wizards have lovingly referred to their owl as. And the other variant for Family Entanglements is Haunted Fortunes, which I think is a pretty cool design. It's so basically the idea is the fortunes that Madame Eva read to you, and look, we're not even playing the game, I'm just sitting on the map. The fortunes that Madame Eva read to you actually come back and haunt you during the variant. So each of them have a specific negative thing that happens for 25 levels. So you've got to contend with it. It's like a crow takes up the spot, random gargoyles appear, you do 2 times the damage, but the monsters do 4 times the damage. So speaking again to that sort of oppressive, dark feel of Ravenloft, but it's not all dark. Like we're gonna save the day. Let's see. Can you let us use more than one blacksmithing contract at once? Maybe. We'll keep it under advisement. Let's see. Anyone know if heavy burdens is doable currently or not? I never bothered to even try based on the comments people were saying regarding it being a little buggy. I'm unaware of those issues. So if chat could clarify, that would be great. We'll take it under advisement and take a look at it if there is a buggy issue with the variant. What is your favorite current champion, and are there any upcoming champions going to dethrone them from you? It's a tough question. My favorite current champion, I think, is I don't know, Deacon. Deacon's close to my heart. It's one of the first ones that I worked on design with Justin on. But I really love Evelyn because I really love her character on Dice Camera Action, and she's an awesome tank. And I think the Evergreen champion from Tomb is going to dethrone her. I hope. I've been seeing the art going. Alexis has been working on the art, and oh, it's awesome. I can't wait to see her in action. We're gonna start putting them into the game in next week in dev, and we'll start testing. And I'm gonna stop talking about it because I'm just gonna give it away because I'm so excited about it. Can you tell us something you probably shouldn't and blame it on not being used to your temp position? I think I just did that about 30 seconds ago. Question, is anyone using Binwin? I hope so. Binwin's pretty cool. I can use Binwin. Let's throw Binwin in here. Binwin, bronze bottom. Ah, Deacon. There we go. Get it out there, affect everyone. And I know I'm not doing these upgrades. You know, my old manager, John File, used to hate when he'd hear me just click all the upgrades like this. Because he was one of those, like, this is the cheapest, this is the cheapest, this is the cheapest. I think I'll choose Undead for here. And he would just chuckle whenever I would... do I want Makos right now in this formation? Let's see. He would chuckle whenever I would just kind of spam everything, but I don't care because I like doing it that way. Let's get more gold. Have you guys considered different paid content from golden cards? Maybe something that won't feel like a waste if a new champion comes along. Been looking at Brunor's Axe, but now I have Deacon, who's OP. Different paid content from golden cards. So if you're talking about changing what the golden cards do, not without a very big caution. One thing we want to do, especially with content that players may have paid for, is we want to make sure that we don't pull the rug out from under them or make them feel like their investment or their time has been unwarranted. So with the tanking healing update, with the big rebalancing patch, with any additions that we add to the game, we're always going to want to make sure that we try, however possible, to not ruin the fun you're having. We want to make everyone viable. We want to make you feel great about putting any champion in a formation. I've seen people talk about using different combinations that I'm using, and it's super interesting to see those discussions. And part of making sure that those builds are viable is making sure that the characters are viable. So for us, unless there's a real, or for me, I guess I'm going to talk about me personally because these are my thoughts that I'm spewing out here. For me, it's not so much about nerfing OP, but just generally balancing everything. So yeah, we want you to be able to play everyone. We want you to throw a formation out there, and as long as it's working for you, it's the right thing. So hopefully we'll be able to do that. Curious to hear your thoughts on how best to use Jarlaxle's gold find. When I idle when at work, I never know how to boost his gold find up or replace with stronger DPS. When I am running an adventure and I want to use gold find, whether I use Jarlaxle or Stokey, I will focus on them until I'm gonna hit my wall. Because once you hit the wall, you're going to want the extra DPS. So I'll focus on Jarlaxle early for gold find to help me get up a little bit faster, and then I'll probably swap them out for heavier DPS as I start to hit the wall. Let's see. Any update on when Deacon's tooltip green arrows will be fixed to point to the entire party rather than just the adjacent members when you select the appropriate specialization to buff the party? Yeah, we were talking about that. I'm not sure when that formation icon is going to be updated. Probably in the next week. I thought it may have already been updated and maybe it just hasn't pushed. But yes, we are aware that the formation icons are not clear enough, and they can be clearer, so I think we're planning on updating them. And for those that don't know, the icon for Deacons spread out to everyone, it's just a circle with an arrow to the right and an arrow to the left, kind of showing that it's just blowing out. And the circle for buffing all adjacent by 50% is a circle with arrows in every direction. It's not perfect, because you want to say basically, you know, you're increasing the adjacent or you're going out to everyone. So we're gonna fix those. I don't know if we have yet. And ooh, here we are with Madam Eva. Let's see. Sorry to interrupt. My ears tell me that if we want to find a vampire, we're going to have to start a little lower down. Something. I should fix that so we can actually read it. So you found Madam Eva, and she wants you to take care of a couple of things, like everyone does. Man, they always send you on these little quests. And then she's going to read her fortunes. Champions levels increase soon or nah? I think they will increase soon. How long is soon? Probably before the anniversary. Why are all the bars yellow when the champions are on max level? Why aren't the bars yellow when the champions are on max level? You mean these bars? I don't know what bars you're talking about, Curtin. If you can clarify, and Eric will toss it in there, I will clear it out. Are you talking about when you hit max level and this grays out? Because the reason it grays out as opposed to going yellow, if that's the question, is because at that point the system's saying there is no next upgrade, so you need to switch to like the 1x or the 10x, and then you'll be able to push them up a little bit past their max level. Can alignment be added to the pop-up window when you mouse over a character? It would be helpful for using birdsong in a group. Yeah, I've had that similar moment too, when you're using birdsong and her, I think it's tempo of battle, refers to alignments, and what I normally do is I'll just pull up who I have in the formation and just do a quick check this way, because I can just scan through them and see this. The problem with having alignment pop up is, again, and I know I say this a lot, and I know that you dedicated and enfranchised and really deep playing characters want all the info, but we really have to be careful about giving too much info. I mean, I think we've all played those mobile games that have been out for 3 years, and it's just play thing here, over here, advertisement over here, click thing over here, and it's just like, what do I focus on? What am I looking at? And I mean, if the character face showed ability scores and alignment and race and gender and everything right here or on pop-up, I think it'd just be too much, because there are certain things you need to pay attention to, like Hitch wants characters with 13 charisma, but if we put all the charismas on pop-ups, I think that might be really really difficult to process. Ooh, here we go. Knowledge of the ancients will help you better understand your enemy. The thing you seek lies with the dead. A card tells of a powerful force of good and protection, a holy symbol of great hope. Seek a place of dizzying heights where the stone itself is alive. And so all of these fortunes are giving you a clue about where things like the Weapon of Vengeance are, the Sword of Sunlight. Sword of Sunlight's at a wizard's tower along the lake, so eventually we'll get there. And for our adventure, that's where the Sun Sword is. But on other adventures, it could be a completely different area. So it really adds a lot of variety and replayability to Curse of Strahd adventures for the TRPG. The Bad Patreon. This is my first time tuning in. How do I redeem the Steam code on the bottom of the screen? That's a great question. So to redeem the Steam code, or the stream code, you're going to go to the shop, and you're going to see this code here. And if this is your first time tuning in, make sure that you sign up for the newsletter, because we send out gold chest codes every week to your email box, and those are unique to you. So you would go ahead and put in Strahd is calling, exclamation point. You don't have to put the dashes in, but it will work if you use the dashes. I already redeemed the code earlier, so this isn't going to work. But then it would pop up with a epic card here. You'd open it up, it would give you a chest, and it would show up in your queue. So yeah, if you ever have a stream code either from us or from a partner or from the email newsletter, it's always the in-game shop in Steam to redeem it. Unfortunately, we don't have a way to take that code and use it on other platforms. It's a Steam-only code at the moment. Yeah. Let's see. When the DPS display update occurs, will it include a number for favored enemies? That would make it easier to see if the favored enemy is more useful than using a general buffer who may have better equipment. Maybe. The problem is with that is, does it then modify every time that enemy's on the screen? Does it go up when there's more enemies of that type on the screen? Does it disappear for no reason? We've got a lot of things modifying the DPS bar, and we want to make sure it's easily grokkable for everyone. One of the challenges we had with Deacon, and I may have mentioned this last week, and I apologize if I'm repeating myself, is his Doom buff goes up and down all the time, and you can see it clicking here. And initially we had it when it went up it was green, when it went down it was red, but what that meant was, because this is changing every second and a half, we couldn't see if movement in a formation like this helped. So we actually changed it. Mark was able to change it at the last minute so that his Song of Doom was a non-colored change, so when you had another change that was a positive or negative, it was much clearer. Has there been any discussion on a gold per second display? Not at the moment. We've got the percentage gold fund, we've got the gold numbers you're grabbing. Maybe in terms of stats at the end of an adventure, like an average gold per second, but I don't believe we had a discussion about that. They may have, and I might not have heard about it, but we'll flag it and talk about it. Ooh, and I have a time gate answer in the Mattermost channel. Thank you, Erica. Let's see. Okay, so to the earlier question, if you log in while the gate is available, let me read this for a second. Okay, if you don't get a row for the time gate, then you don't get the consolation rewards. You need to log in while the time gate's available. If you don't log in this weekend, and then you don't get the time gate pieces as the consolation prizes. And for those that don't know, the time gates are right here. Time gates are the way that you can get past event champions, so you don't have to wait a year to get them back. And when the time gates are open, 3 gates open up here, showing you 3 different champions. And if you don't have the champion, you can go through the time gate and get a champion and a gold chest. And then if you do the run again, you can get just a gold chest. Or if you have the champions, you can do 2 runs, each of them giving you a gold chest. If at the end of the time gate you haven't gotten both rewards, the 2 gold chests and or the champion, then we'll reward you with an extra time gate piece as one of the rewards if you didn't get 1, or 2 if you didn't get both. And what that's going to do is that's going to help you to manually open your own time gate on your own. So right now I have 4 pieces. If I got my time gates this weekend and it wasn't any characters I wanted to gear up, I would just wait and I'll get 2 pieces afterwards, and then once the time gate's closed, I'll be able to get my own, open another time gate and get another roll. Let's see. All right, we are getting to the final raffle probably. Where are we? Oh, I just missed level 50. That was sad. I had a really fun exchange with a cat and Jarlaxle that the person that doesn't like Jarlaxle would probably find funny. But let's see, where's the... I lost my stuff. Here we go. Sorry, no sound. There we go. Trying to do too many things at once. Let's see, are there any questions I skipped? Lots of questions today. Thanks everybody for the questions. Let's see. Ooh, and the raffle's going on. No more questions right now. So once we get through Mists of Ravenloft, once I complete Area 200, this is pretty high-level content. Again, you gotta get all the way through Gold Tour, Grand Tour in order to get to it. Once you complete the Mists of Ravenloft, you'll be able to do Family Entanglements, where we'll go after our first quest item on our fortune list, which is Evil's Bride. And then the next Grand Tour update will continue to be in Ravenloft. And we'll be in Ravenloft for an undetermined amount of time. And then once, you know, if the party survives, we'll head back to the Sword Coast and continue our tour. So, as the raffle's going on, since we don't have any questions, I just wanted to remind everyone again that this is a short stream today. We're going to be closing up in about 10 minutes. We're going to be sending the D&D stream to San Diego Comic-Con, where we're going to get some cool announcements on some new merch from the D&D team. So I hope everyone will stick around. I'm sure it's going to be super interesting and exciting with all sorts of fun San Diego Comic-Con stuff. Let's see. Will champions like Evelyn be available to buy instead of waiting for her in the time gate? That's a great question, Mookie Monster. I don't have any specific answers for you at the moment. We are in the middle of doing a revamp for the store, but that is outside of my purview. That's in coding hands right now. But I don't have anything to announce on that point. But for now, you can get Evelyn through time gates for free. You just gotta roll lucky. Question: to get the 2 time gate pieces, you have to open. Do you have to open at least one of the 3, and then complete no objectives? You get them regardless of whether you choose one or not. So as long as you log in while the time gate is available, while the natural time gate is available, you should get your anniversary pieces. Your anniversary pieces. Sorry, I was reading a question down. You should get your time gate pieces as long as you log in while the time gate is open. It's probably safer to engage with one of the time gates, and honestly, it's probably better just to gear up a champion rather than collect two pieces. We didn't leave the consolation prizes in there as an opportunity to just go, oh, I didn't get Evelyn, I don't care. You know, engage with the time gates. It's only, you know, plus 6 to 10 days on the next time gate. Gear up champions, get them geared. Let's see. Whew. Lots of questions in the last few minutes. What is the anniversary date? I don't have it off the top of my head. It is September. I think we went live on September 6th, so it will be right around then. Did Codename do anything? Oh, hang on a second. Did Codename do anything to tease Dylan about his wedding? Not that I'm aware of. That's not to say we won't do anything to tease him when he gets back. But honestly, we'll just be excited that he's back. We're a small team, and when anyone's gone for any sort of time, it's a lot of work to pick up everyone's slack. So Dylan did a great job of getting us set up while he was gone, but we're all going to be really excited when he gets back. Will chest and DLC prices change when the game comes out of early access? I don't believe so. I don't believe there's any plans for that. I don't have any info or insight into that, but I don't think so. Is there any chance of offering crates of potions or crates of contracts or something like that for gems/money? With the revamp of the store, we're going to look at a lot of different options. With the balancing ray update, we're going to look at a lot of options. With the anniversary update, we're going to be looking at a lot of options. So keep questions like that coming, and hopefully we'll be able to satisfy and get people excited about everything. We've got a really exciting couple of months coming. We got a lot of cool champions, a lot of cool content. The anniversary celebration's coming up. I have no idea what it's going to be. We've had a public document out a group document out where we're all throwing ideas around, and it's all going to be, what we can throw together. But we're pretty excited. Hopefully it'll be a fun experience for everyone. I'm really excited about it, and hopefully you guys will be too. But we want to thank you for those that came to join us in September and have stuck around for the full year. For those that came in yesterday and are just checking out the fun of the game, thank you for being here. It's a pleasure to work on the brand. It's an honor to work on the brand. It's awesome to work on this team and being able to put out content every week to keep people excited and engaged with D&D. It's a great blessing. We're all proud to do it. So hopefully everyone's having fun. And if you're having problems or challenges, send us tickets, talk to us on the Discord channel. Let us know what you want to see, and we'll do our best. We want to make the best experience for everyone. Sometimes we can't accommodate all the info, all the details that everyone wants in order to make their play absolutely perfect, because we need to balance the needs of the many over the needs of the one or the few, as Spock so eloquently said. Is the UI art, borders / filigree near alt / inventory different per campaign? I don't think so, but maybe? I don't know if this chain is always around or if it's different. Yeah, we got time. Alright, so this is Grand Tour. It's black chain, black chain, black chain. Let's find out. That's a good question. No, I gotta complete it first, jeez. Like a new player. Let's see, and we're... Come on. Alright, so that was a Grand Tour campaign. Let's check out a Chult campaign, because I gotta keep grinding this. Let's see. Oh, no, black chain, black chain. There's a little bit of spiders here, so maybe it is a little different. Look at those artists sneaking in little Easter eggs. Good question. Will you be adding more music, maybe campaign-specific and alternate tracks? I've really had to turn it off since it was starting to hear it in my dreams with the repetition. Months ago, I found myself whistling the song, like, all the time. I don't think we're going to be doing a lot on music right now. We have the numbers, and very, very, very few players use the music. So spending time and money and resources on that right now is not a huge priority for us, just because we know that not a lot of players are using it. What is the reasoning behind including Ravenloft in the Grand Tour of the Sword Coast instead of making its own campaign? We've got 7 minutes left, so I'm going to skip that one. But if you rewatch the stream, I think I talked about that in the first few minutes. S-Greens. Hi, Chris. I love Binwin and would really like to actually use him someday. Any super secret plans in the work to make him competitive? Well, you can use him even if you don't think he's competitive. Yeah, we're going to be doing a rebalancing patch, and that may or may not touch Binwin. It may or may not touch other characters. If you like a character, use it. Even if you think that they're not competitive at the wall, use them for a little while for the first 100 or so levels. It's not going to hurt your grind that much. And you'll get to play around with different formation types. That's what I do. It's easy to jump into your standard formation all the time, but I also like to mix things up and try different formation builds as I'm going through, especially when new champions come in, because they mix a lot of things up. So we are at, oh hey Bagganails. We are at 155, so I think I will take one final question if one pops in. Otherwise, go ahead and check out if there's anything else I need to say at the end. Where are the documents? I swear, Dylan will be back, and then everything will be cleaner because Dylan knows where everything is. So let's see. Let's see. Outro. Let's see. So, to recap again, thank you all for showing up. It's been awesome connecting and talking with you guys instead of just lurking for the past couple of weeks. Dylan will be back next week to give you guys much clearer answers than my stuttering ability to answer questions and accidentally slip things. He'll be back next week, but I appreciate you hanging out. Shout out to everyone on the DMD team, Pelham, Bart, Greg, and John at Wizards of the Coast for being amazing partners at everything they do. And for those that are interested, stick around after this stream because they're going to be down at San Diego Comic-Con talking about awesome stuff. They're going to have Nathan Stewart, Satine Phoenix, and our very own Arcan, Joe Manganiello, talking about his new Death Saves shirt line that he's debuting at San Diego Comic-Con. Then we've got Waffle Talk coming up next at 4 p.m. and Critical Role at 7. And I know Critical Role had some controversy around a really tough character moment last week. Remember, be cool. Be cool, everybody. D&D is all about great character moments, good and bad, and the story that we all craft around the table. The dice sometimes come back and get you, but you know, I know Matt Mercer, he's a great guy. I know a couple of people at play. Let's all have fun and be cool with each other, all right? All right, so I think that's it for me. I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend playing in Barovia or grinding up Kelemvor Favor, which is what I'm going to be doing for a little bit here. Thank you all for sticking around with me, and Dylan will be back next week. Cheers, all.